Good evening and welcome, everyone. I believe tonight will be the last night. We'll see what we get through. We're not going to push it. We are possibly on the last session of Read With Me of Someone Exactly Like Me, read by me, the author, Debbie Cromack. I'm so excited because you guys right now, you can get Someone Exactly Like Me, obviously without the banner, and you can get Untouchable Zane in my Valentine's Day slow burn romance box. So, and you can easily get one of those just by messaging me. Obviously, I will have them through Valentine's Day, but I only have so many because I could, can't just like buy 100 things. So I only have so many of them. So if you want one, message me and let me know. They're $57. They're shipping you only in the United States because, of course, shipping is outrageous. Even in the US, the shipping is crazy. So yeah, that's that. But tonight we are focusing on reading Someone Exactly Like Me with Nicola Mancini, Destiny Cardone. Nico is an Italian actor who has skyrocketed to fame following a very saucy role in a saucy movie. And he now would like to take his career to the United States and build his American dream, work in Hollywood, but he just doesn't have representation over here yet. So he ends up meeting Destiny, who is a very successful, best-selling romance author who's just in a little bit of a slump. She's in a little bit of a slump at the moment. It's been going on for like a couple of years, and she's really starting to get worried now, like, how am I going to pay my bills? Because she's been in the slump for quite a little while. Her mother happens to work in Hollywood, so they end up striking a deal to help one another, and we follow them on their journey of the deal playing out. There's some steamy moments, there's some lovely romantic moments, and there's a happily ever after. So we've been reading this. We are probably on our last night. We only have a little bit left to go. If you would like to get this, I invite you to get my Valentine's Day box first and foremost. You can also get this and Untouchable Zane on Amazon. Both are available, obviously in paperback, also in ebook, and free to read on Kindle Unlimited. And if you would like a signed copy, you can get the signed copies. Are also in the Valentine's Day box, but you can also get them on my website. They're $15 each. And that's including the shipping in the US. You will get a bookmark and a couple other little things, just because I like to send some fun things when people support me and want to buy my signed books. I always appreciate that. Yeah, so those are kind of the three ways that you can get it. Right now, the Valentine's Day box, anytime on Amazon, and anytime through my website if you would like a signed copy. So as per usual, I will try to replace any bad words that would get me kicked off, because we certainly don't want to get kicked off tonight while we're finishing up the story. So any scenes or anything that is not PG-13, I will omit, I will replace as best as I can. So let's get started. All right, we were in Destiny's point of view, and the last thing she was saying to herself in her head was, please go away. Now we jump to Nico's point of view. I've been watching Destiny's progress from my private Instagram account, and I was so happy to see her hit #1 bestseller all on her own. I knew she could get her success back without my following. I've been so busy with my projects, I didn't have time to read her book. With hours of flight time to LA, I finally get to read it. While I know her work is fiction, the second I read the prologue, I know it's me. And now I'm going to fix the mess I made and tell her how I feel. Now we have a little time gap. As I pull up the street toward her house, a man walks down her driveway and gets in his car. Henry? Damn. I didn't stop to think she might be with Henry. Is it even Henry? The thought of someone else being with her twists a knife in my soul. Maybe her book was completely made up and I'm stinking wrong. Does she feel nothing for me? Are we to be strangers now? The man drives away and I pull into the spot in front of her house. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should leave her alone. Forget that. I'm not giving up. She wants someone to fight for her. That's exactly what I'm here to do. I get out of the car and walk around to her back porch, taking off my shoes and socks before stepping into the sand. She's sitting on her sofa with her eyes closed. Standing in the cool sand, listening to the distant lull of waves, I watch her. She's so stinking beautiful. Taking my phone out of my pocket, I call her. Startled, she picks up her phone and stares at it, then looks up at the ceiling. Putting her phone back down, she drops her face into her hands. The call goes to voicemail. I call again. Lifting her face from her hands, she picks up her phone again, running her finger across her upper lip as she stares at the screen. She swipes. Hi, Nico. She stands, putting her blanket on the sofa. I'm sorry I missed your call. I was upstairs. Pointing up, she lies, then puts the palm of her hand on her forehead. How are you? Thank you for answering. I've been trying to reach you. Yeah, I've had a lot going on here. She paces, biting her lower lip. Destiny, I need you to know that what you saw with me and Gigi isn't what you thought you saw. She covers her eyes with her hand. It really doesn't matter. I'm happy for you, she says, her words contrasting her body language. No, I say sharply. It does matter. I need you to know the truth. I didn't kiss Gigi. She took off her dress and sat on my lap and kissed me. It happened so fast, but it was my fault for even letting her sit on my lap. I take responsibility for that. I'm sorry. She was mad about us and jealous. I'm not with Gigi. I told you, I will never be with Gigi. She paces. Is that what you've been wanting to tell me? She asks, raising her voice. That she kissed you and it wasn't you kissing her, even though your lips were locked together? She thrusts her hand through the air. Yes, but okay, she cuts me off. Now I know. She stops pacing and rubs her forehead. I have to go. Her voice gags. Destiny, wait, what? I read your book. Why? She sits back on the sofa, covering her eyes with her hand. Because I wanted to. I pause. Is it me? Tilting her head back, she takes the stuffed pig I gave her into her lap. Destiny, I have to know. Is it me you wrote about in your book? Her breath comes before her words. What does it matter? She asks, defeat coloring her tone. It matters. Was it a made-up person or was it me? Do you feel nothing for me? Standing up, she tosses the pig on the sofa. It makes no difference what I feel for you, Nico. You're going to be surrounded and tempted by beautiful women like Gigi for the rest of your life. I can't compete with that, she says impatiently, pacing again. You do feel something for me. I know you do. Nico, please. Her strangled words answer me. I have to go. Blood runs hot through my body. Tell me you don't want me. Tell me it's over. Tell me I mean nothing to you. She drops back onto the sofa, silent, burying her face in her hand. Tell me. I quiet my voice. Tell me and I'll walk away. Uneven breaths pass through the phone as I watch tears trail down her face. I can't. Her faint voice tears at my heart. Goodbye, Nico. Click. She curls her body into itself as she clutches the pig. No, it doesn't end like this. I grab my shoes and run to her front door, ringing the bell. I'm ready to crash down the door. She opens it and stumbles back as her eyes spring open. Nico, what are you doing here? She wipes her fingers under her lashes. Stepping in and flinging the door closed behind me, I toss my shoes on the floor. I gently cup her face, sweeping my thumbs across her mascara-smeared cheeks. I came here for you, mia dolce ragazza. I came here because I have feelings for you, Destiny, and I think you have feelings for me. I pause, releasing her face and looking down at the locket around her neck. You're wearing my locket. She takes it in her hand and looks into my eyes. It reminds me of you. Taking a breath, I think about my next words, terrified about the risk I'm about to take, but knowing I have to. Destiny, my heart fell in love with you before I knew how to love. Her brows squeeze together as her watery eyes search mine. You taught me how to love. I shake my head. You showed me what it looks like, what it feels like. You woke up a part of me I'd closed off long ago. I pause. These last few weeks have been torture with you not talking to me. I almost gave up, thinking it was best if I left you alone. I never saw you coming, and I wasn't prepared for you. but sometimes love finds you when you least expect it. And if you're with Henry now, I point to the door. You were here? Yes, I saw a man leave. I'm guessing it was Henry. If you're with him and he makes you feel the way you feel when you're with me and he makes you happy, I'll walk out your door and never bother you again. Closing the gap between us, I gaze into her eyes. But I'm not leaving here without you knowing how I feel. The song I wrote for you, it's not just a song. You are the blood coursing through my veins. You are the breath in my lungs that gives me life. I pause, pressing my lips together. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think my dad sent you to me somehow to save me. I shake my head gently. I don't want to live without you. You know, that saying you told me, I want you in my life for a life. Why does this happen to me, Angel? Tears spill over her lashes as she reaches her arms around my neck, drawing my forehead to touch hers. Squeezing her eyes, more tears release. She opens her eyes and looks into mine. I've been falling in love with you since you rescued me from those jerks in the club the night of my birthday. I pick her up in my arms and she wraps her legs around my waist. Cradling her body in my arms, I claim her mouth with mine, overflowing with love. Chapter 29. We jump to Destiny's point of view. I'm in Nico's arms. He came here to fight for me. He's choosing me. He carries me up to my bedroom and we make we have a wonderful experience. The most passionate experience I've had. Our souls connect on an ethereal level. Our bodies something else. Little time gap. I wake in the morning to soft kisses on my shoulder, down my arm. He's tucked in behind me, propped on his elbow. A yawn sneaks out of me as I roll my body toward him. Good morning. His deep voice rumbles through me as he smiles down at me. Good morning. He kisses my forehead. You didn't have a cigarette after we were together last night. I hadn't realized it until we were almost asleep. No, I didn't. His smile broadens proudly as he tilts his head a bit. I called your friend Heidi, and she's helping me quit. Nico, that's wonderful. You once told me that a soulmate doesn't complete you, but they inspire you to complete yourself. You do that for me. He traces his finger from the top of my forehead, down the side of my face and across my jaw, then touches his lips to mine. My heart swells with happiness that's quickly overtaken by melancholy. Though our feelings are now out in the open, I don't know how a relationship could work between us. Nico, yes? What happens now with us? What do you want to happen? I don't know. A lot's happened in the last few weeks that I haven't even told you about. Okay, so tell me. Shifting his eyes from mine, he watches his fingers trail over my shoulder and down my arm. Well, my book's doing really well, but there's no guarantee I'm on my way back to stable income. And I'm buying my house, so I need stable income. You are? He asks, returning his gaze to me. Yes, Bev and Thomas sold me the house. They made an amazing offer, and they don't even want to make money on it. They're just downsizing the number of properties they have to manage. So you're going to own your house now? Squeezing my hips, he wiggles me. Yeah, well, I hope so. That's awesome, he says, leaning down, kissing my décolletage. It is, and I'm excited, but I'm also a little nervous. I've been interviewing a creative artist. A desk job? Lifting from my décolletage, he looks up at me with narrowed brows. You wouldn't like that at all. I know, but it would be stable income, and I can write when I'm not there. He leans back down and kisses my neck with tender pecks. My skin warms beneath his lips as I sip and inhale. That won't make you happy. Sliding the strap of my, some more kissing. A tiny gasp escapes me as I close my eyes. I know, but it's what I need to do. I have another idea, he says, dropping a kiss on my nose and swirling his, can't say that. I sharply inhale in response to his touch. What's that? I'm going to be doing some traveling for my career, he says. lifting, can't say that. And I want you to be with me, he says, dragging his mouth, taking a nibble. I can't say some of the stuff. Oh, there's some squirming happening. But how will I do that if I take a job at Creative Artists? I ask, sinking my hands into his hair. Forget the job. Tugging down one, oh, nope. Nope, can't say that. I can't just forget the job. I say, okay. Sorry, guys, little things happening here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, One Click Kindle Chick. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, sorry, you can't say some of these words. Moving back up, he rests against my lower body, leaning his torso so his face is above mine. I'm serious. I want you to be with me. And I want to be with you. I'm not going to let anything get in the way of that. We have my home in Rome, your home here, and we could travel for my concerts and acting projects and have incredible adventures together. If we want to stay in the city for an extra day, I'll arrange it. You can tour the cities we visit for inspiration and research and write your books. Together we'll have plenty of money. His eyes sparkle. What do you think? With this sexy, kind, loving man hovering above me, I quickly think back to when we first met, how dull and uncertain my life was, how lonely, empty, and uninspired I was. Now, a man I only ever dreamed about has melded with who I dreamed about. There was another word there. As my soulmate, and he's in love with me. And I'm in love with him. I'm living inside one of my books. Goosebumps cover my body. Destiny. His soft, husky voice brings me back to the moment. That's really what you want? Without a smile on his face, he nods, his gaze boring intensely into my eyes. Yes, that's what I want. I've been waiting for you my whole life, he says, brushing his thumb across my cheek. Sì, mia per sempre, mia dolce ragazza. What does that mean? It means, be mine forever, my sweet girl. Softly kissing my lips, he encases me in his arms, burying his face into the crook of my neck. Do I believe in soulmates? Yes, yes, I do. On my 30th birthday, I fell in love. I fell in love with a man who would be mine forever. Okay, ready for the epilogue? Oh, I know. It's ridiculous that my own writing makes me get all choked up. Epilogue. We're in Nico's point of view. Walking into our suite at the Mandarin Oriental Jumeirah Hotel, I see my wife relaxing on the chase out on our private balcony reading a book. I set my guitar by the sofa in the living room and go straight to her, kneeling next to her and putting my ear on her swollen belly, waiting. Did he kick today? Not yet, she says, running her hand through my hair. He's waiting for his daddy to sing to him. I look up at her and smile, then sing part of a song I'll be performing at tonight's concert in Dubai. Will you have your mother's smile? Will you have my eyes? None of it matters. I'll love you till I die. She sits forward. There, did you see it? She asks, taking my hand and placing it on her belly. I feel it, a powerful kick from my son's tiny foot in the palm of my hand. I can't imagine being any happier than I am right now. I think he might be a football player like me. We'll teach him that he can be anything he wants to be. I just hope he turns out to be someone exactly like you. That's it. That's the end. Now, I have a question for those who are still on as I hold back my tears. We have a couple of pages I've included at the end of this book. It is the beginning of Untouchable Zane. I have the prologue in chapter 1. Would you like it? YouTube, you can't answer me because you're not live. So, Angel, yes, oh my. I was getting a little choked up there. I could almost not read it. Angel, I know you have read Untouchable Zane, so you may not wish to hear it, but I'm going to take a sip of water and collect myself. And you guys let me know if you would like for me to read the prologue and chapter 1 of Untouchable Zane. I'll give you a moment to, sure, okay. You're so cute. All right, here we go. So that was the end of Someone Exactly Like Me. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Now we have a little sneak peek into Untouchable Zane. Prologue. You may be under the impression, I'm sorry, let me start that again. You may be under the misconception that being hot, famous, and rich makes it easy for a guy like me to find love. Sure, being all that made it easy for me to get, I don't think I can say that, but I don't want to get blank. I want to fall in love. I'm here to tell you that being all that makes finding true love incredibly complicated, almost impossible. At least that's been my painful reality over and over again. There's only one woman I want to love, and she's the only woman in the world who can break me. Chapter 1. We start off in Zane's point of view. Her face is beautiful, natural, fair-skinned, emerald green eyes, and caramel red hair pulled back with pieces dangling around her cheeks and neck. A glow surrounds her, and she smiles at me. As the image fades, a new image appears, the same beautiful face, but her hair is styled differently, her clothes are different, and the environment is different. That image fades and another appears. The siren of my alarm blasts, jarring me awake. I reach over to my phone on the nightstand, turn off the alarm, and lay in bed for a moment as the lingering images sweep into my consciousness. Some of the dreams are different visions of her face. Some of them are us walking side by side, holding hands and strolling through various places. And some of them are different. Those are the most intense and the most frustrating. It's like I'm watching a movie of us, so I can't feel her skin, I can't taste her lips. I can only imagine how silky her skin would feel under my fingers and how delicious her lips would taste pressed into mine. And something down there tells me it's time to get out of bed. Dude, cut it out. The first streaks of dawn filter light into my room through the vast floor-to-ceiling windows. Sluggish from my usual restless night, I sit up in my king-size bed, push aside my sheets, and sling my legs over the side of the bed. Raking my hands through my hair in frustration, I whisper, "Who are you?" Dragging myself out of bed, I make my way through my Hollywood Hills home. Being only 31 years old, I must say I'm pretty damn proud of what I've accomplished so far in my life. I was lucky enough to be a sought-after talent in Hollywood at the age of 14. I starred in numerous blockbuster movies, worked with industry icons, and started my own production company. Okay, so I don't have an Oscar yet, but I'm working on it. As I head to the kitchen, the cold beneath my feet mirrors the coldness of my environment. I poured tons of money into having my house professionally decorated, and while I admire and appreciate the zen-like ambiance of what I wanted at the time, it feels empty, barren. It doesn't feel like home. It lacks love, the love of a woman's touch and presence. I microwave some glass bottle spring water and pour in a packet of 4 Sigmatic coffee. I've worked hard on my physique my entire life, and that includes my diet. No regular coffee is going in this temple. As I drink my coffee, I whip up a protein shake to drink on my way to my grandparents' house. Grandma passed away a few years back, and all of us grandkids do our best to rotate spending time with Grandpa to keep him busy and active. Grandpa and I were going fishing today. After my first stint in rehab, I vowed to make more time for my family, and time with Grandpa always makes me feel good. He's my hero, and I love listening to him share his wisdom through his life stories. Being his firstborn grandson, I have a special bond with him. It feels like he started taking me fishing as soon as I started walking. Now I get to take him fishing, and I cherish our time together even more. It's a typical sunny California day, so I drive my gray 64 Mustang that Grandpa gave me last year. Even before I had it restored, it was my favorite in my collection of cars because it was Grandpa's. He's the one who got me hooked on cars and fueled my love of them. When I was a kid and a car show was in town, Grandpa always took me. We'd spend hours walking up and down the rows and rows of cars, and he always bought me a hot dog and soda. He favored antique cars, looked at them like they were fine art hanging in a museum. One time I asked him why he liked the old ones so much. Briefly taking his eyes off the 1927 Ford Model A, his eyes were savoring. He knelt down on one knee and told me, "They hold memories." Then he smiled at me with a sentimental gleam in his eyes. When we went to the shows, he always drove us in his 64 Mustang. And one time on the way home, he told me the story about the first time he kissed Grandma. It was in the Mustang. As I got older and more successful in my career, special times like this with Grandpa became few and far between. As I pull into their driveway, Grandpa's tinkering with his rickety old fishing pole. "Hey, Grandpa," I cheerfully greet him. "Why won't you let me get you a new rod?" "Hey, Zany," he responds, keeping his eyes on the weathered pole like it's a timeless, priceless treasure. "Nah, this pole's like a trusted friend now. Works just fine, catches fish. No need for those fancy new ones." Holding onto the pole, he picks up his beaten up tackle box. "Ready to go?" "Yep, let's do it." We load our gear and cooler full of water and snacks into the back seat. I drive out to our favorite fishing spot. The lake is calm and there aren't any other people there. Taking our time, we unload the gear and walk down to the lake where we patiently prepare our fishing rods with lures. With years of practice, we have our routine down to an easy ritual. Fishing bibs on and poles ready, we make our way into the water and stand in our usual spots in the lake, close enough to talk and hear each other and far enough not to cross our fishing lines. A slight breeze rustles the leaves in the trees surrounding us. The calm of the lake relaxes me, and the babbling water is a gentle symphony in my ears. We fish in silence, letting the peacefulness soak in. The redhead was in my dreams again last night. I stare blankly out over the water as I cast, seeing her, not the lake. "Oh, yep, the same images over and over." I glance over at him. Grandpa wears an impassive expression as he casts back into the water, flicking his wrist in a way only an expert fisherman can do after years of fishing. "And you're sure you never met her before, or maybe seen her somewhere?" I look back over the lake as the water ripples out in concentric circles from where his lure sunk. I'm sure, but something feels like I know her, but I know I don't. It's been a lot of years she's been visiting you in your dreams. Tell me about it. I smile at him, grateful for the years he's listened to me talk about her without judgment. "Do you think she's the reason you keep yourself from falling in love?" He doesn't look up at me, but keeps his eyes on the water. Damn, Grandpa. He's not one to beat around the bush. He and Grandma met when they were kids. He loved that woman every day in every way with every part of his being. They shared a love I think we all desire, but it's hard to come by these days. I don't know, Grandpa. Sadly, this is true. I have no idea. Okay, so my love life has been less than stellar. I had one long-term relationship when I was in my early 20s, followed by a series of 6 to 8 month relationships. The women I fall for usually end up in one of two categories. 1, physical attraction only, or 2, they have a hidden agenda and just want to be associated with me because I'm a celebrity. So the relationship lasts a while and then fizzles. And don't think because I'm a musclehead, I'm famous and I'm rich that it doesn't hurt, because it does. While I confide in Grandpa about a lot of things, I'd never admit to him that I'm worried that I'll never find love. At least not the kind of love he and Grandma had. My lifestyle doesn't lend itself to any kind of normal relationship. That's for damn sure. The years are going by and I want to settle down with someone and build a future together. I want a wife to come home to, someone who genuinely wants to know about my day, someone to make my sterile house a home, someone who loves me for me. I don't think she exists. Turning my attention back to fishing, I reel in my line and cast back out. As my lure plunks into the dark water, I accede to the realization. My longest relationship is with a mystery woman who's been haunting my dreams for 15 years. That's it. you want to read the rest of that, it's called Untouchable Zane. And as you know, also available on Amazon or in my Valentine's Day box. Or you can get a signed copy on my website. Well, that, my friends, does it. That is the end of our Read With Me sessions of Someone Exactly Like Me with me. I don't know when I'll be coming back on to do lives on TikTok or posting longer videos on YouTube, but I will always try to come back, and I have, you know, little shorter videos coming at you at least several days a week. Woo-hoo! So thank you for being here. I really hope that you have enjoyed the reading sessions. And I would love to know your comments. TikTok, stay with me. YouTube, I'm going to close up for tonight. I would love it if you would like and share this video. And I really, really would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and be with me for the long haul. So have a great night. Let's see, tomorrow's Friday. So have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. And I'll catch you guys some other time. Bye. Oh no, it went to the cloud. I did it to the cloud again by accident. Uh-oh, I messed up. I don't know how to get it from the cloud.